I'm trying to demonstrate that focus blur bug that we've been reporting with CKEditor when we're integrating it in a Vaden environment. And I'll first start with an IE browser because it seems to have the most naturally correct behavior. If I click into the editor, you'll see I get a focus event. When I click on the outside, I get a blur. Click on the inside, focus, outside blur. And I can do this all day long, and everything is fine, and it makes sense. I right-click in the fields, my context editors appear, kind of just as you would expect, and you'll see the focus and blur events occur, and so there's really nothing wrong on this one. Now I'm in a Chrome browser, and I'm showing this mostly because it also works, but like the Safari browser, it's also based on WebKit. Now one of the things I noticed is that when I first click in some kind of an odd area like down low, the focus works and the blur event will work. But if I come back in and I continue to click, and I'm clicking on each side of this bar with a left click, you'll see nothing happens. In fact, if I right click, I actually get a browser context menu rather than the editor's context menu. Now, if I change the contents, you'll see I'm still not showing any change. And so when I save, you'll see I've lost my data. But my context menus seem to work. But it mostly has to do with the fact that I don't always get focus and blur events. And if I type a letter, the focus comes in right away. I guess because the new letter has to be painted. But when I come in this way and I'm backspacing, or I even see if I try to overwrite, then the focus event occurs. So again, if I click down low, you won't see anything occurring. But if I remove another character, if I highlight it, then the focus comes in again. So anyway, these are the kinds of things that can go wrong on Chrome. Okay, and I'm going to show this same effect on Safari, which has maybe more issues. That again, when I click in down low and out, I seem to get the events, but like Firefox, nothing really happens. Again, if I backspace though, you'll see that on Safari, backspace, focus event actually takes place, and so that part seems to be correct. It also, if I click and I highlight, it also seems to get the focus correctly, and I come out. Now what I do notice though, some of the weird parts, is that for example I can right click, and you'll see I get a focus but no menu popped up. And if I click it again, I can get basically a blur and a focus event that occur in rapid succession. And so the menu I think is actually appearing, it's just not appearing very slowly. Now, what I do find though is if I click elsewhere, see now I'm in a blur mode, and yet I'm clearly inside the field, and it doesn't even seem to think I have context menu. And at this stage, actually, you'll see that the menus can pop up and they'll disappear. And now if I backspace all out and I click save, you'll see again I have a lost set of changes. Now if I get the focus, you'll see that my column table seems to work. My context menu seems to work. But once I get out of sync, where now thinks I'm blurred, you'll see that even though I'm never even left the editor, things continue to go wrong. But if I go back out, get the focus, then the context menu seems to stay. So anyway, this is the kind of odd behavior that we're seeing with the focus and blur.